Cheers to reconciliation.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
So I say
Happy birthday to you.
Cuddles.
Yes, hooray.
Oh, darling.
Are you okay?
You can't see, is she okay? You can't see what's going on.
It's gone to voicemail.
Are vulnerable.
I'll actually call an ambulance.
We should call someone. Like we actually.
Hi, Niamh. You get this voicemail. I'm just calling. We're on the Zoom. Can't hear you.
During the
If you just let us know if you're alright. You can come back on the camera or wave or something.
Her, what's the point in calling her if she's
back
not
soon.
responding?
I will be honest.
I'll send her a message.
I've
responding.
actually called an ambulance.
Shame on you all. Every single one of you. Death has reached her. The cold hand of death has laid itself on her, and thus she is no more, for her soul is being plunged into the depths of hell. No more shall she be stuck in her useless body, but she is now freed in a bigger prison, a prison of pain. A prison where the cold hand of death lingers on every tick and every sound of minute waking moment. Because death has taken ye, and death will remain with ye.
Okay. Yeah. Love you too, Dad.
Shh.
Bye.
Shh. Kids.
How long have we been in since?
All right, boys, we're going to take a look at the Zoom calls. Back in a minute.
Is someone?
We have a guest.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Zoomers.
Hi.
So I'm Detective Luke Taker here with the police force on this fine day. So I'm here to take a look at this investigation, and me boys, me pals, the professional police team, have been looking around the house, and we have found. Oh, sorry, should be going through the official police protocol steps. Okay, step number 1: confirmation of death. Niamh Willows is in fact dead. That has been confirmed by the paramedics on site, and the cause of death is so far unknown, but we have ruled out that it was natural causes or illness. So that's that. So basically we've ruled that it must be a murder investigation or a suicide investigation. We're leaning towards murder, considering there were so many things in this house that were very new to the day. So due to the fact, sorry, step 2, break-in. So there have been no signs of break-in, there have been no unfamiliar footprints or fingerprints in this house. Therefore, we have concluded that it was one of these gifts that was the cause of death. So that means you, my friends, are the primary suspects in this investigation. Now don't don't get your panties in a twist, okay? I'm sure none of you did it, but we have to go through police protocol, and therefore I am going to have to ask you all to remain on this Zoom call until further notice. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead, but I would like to first speak to Sebastian as my first suspect. Nothing personal, mate. We're just looking at the close of kin, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that'd be great if I could have a moment of your time.
Were you on mute?
I don't know, but I hear a voice I haven't quite heard before.
That's the detective, Barbara.
Detective Luke Taker, here to take a look.
Oh my god, this is such a mess.
Is he on the wrong call?
Oh no, love, I'm with the police. We've been investigating the murder here in this fine establishment.
Got something funny to say, Karen?
Oh god.
Nah.
Sebastian, I understand that you're the husband of the deceased, but you were not living together during lockdown. Could you please explain to us your relationship with Niamh Andrews, please?
Well, it was good. All until the last couple of years. I mean, she just changed last couple of years, but we've been together for like 20 years, and most of it was just amazing. But those last couple of years, she just, she wanted a divorce. I don't know why, but I think deep down we both, still wanted to be together. So I'm not really sure, to be honest. I mean, I'm a bit lost for words, to be honest. It's so soon. I mean, it's only half an hour since we were speaking.
You understandably seem upset, Sebastian, but my team have been looking into your computer footage, and I'd like you to watch the following video that's just been sent over.
One thing before we go. I'm a little bit concerned about you and Niamh.
What?
Well,
you don't need to be concerned. I've got it all under control.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of control in the relationship, but okay, let's do a bit of an exercise, right? Because I'm friends with a relationship coach, and she told me this is a good way. So I get this up. Hold on, I'm not very good. My son's away. There we go. Right. So
yes,
let's make a list. They say you should make a list. So you say things about Sebastian's.
like a little love letter.
Exactly.
Very cute, yes.
You have to do 3 of them. I cannot type today. And then you have to do 3 bad things. And then you sort of sit back and you evaluate. And you you see, what comes out of it. Maybe if it gets some more thought out of it, So let's start with the good things.
Okay, yeah.
Give me, what's a good thing about your wife? What do you really love about your wife?
Good things, eh?
What, like when you wake up in the morning and you think, thank God for Niamh, she blank, she does blank, she is blank, I don't know.
Where do I begin? With this amazing woman? Well,
what's she done that makes you laugh?
Makes me laugh. Well, because of work, she's been quite serious lately, so
that's fair.
There is plenty. There's plenty of good things, actually.
I'll tell you what. If we start with the bad things first, and maybe that'll kind of jog your memory, perhaps.
Okay.
All right. So let's come up with what's a bad thing about your wife? What's something you wake up and you think, Niamh, she's pretty good, but I wish she didn't do this or that.
She's really smelly.
She's smelly.
She's stinky.
So,
very stinky. Stinky. Well, I mean, it means the same thing. Okay.
Yeah. We want to get the accurate. Any specific scent?
Scent like a wet dog who's just died.
Oh, a wet dog that's died.
Yeah. I think it's Make sure you put that in.
That's important. Yeah. Okay. So that's one. Any more, perhaps? Anything comes to mind?
These are very little things because
Yeah.
my love is endless. So
Scraping
these
the
are
bottom of the barrel, perhaps.
if I had to nitpick, she does own, about 90% of the house. So
bit dominant.
but I like the shed. Do you know what I mean? That's my little man cave. So I
Exactly.
love just living in the shed. So I just
that's like a borderline
the rest,
That's just sort of like an ish, not that bad. Bit dominant with a house space. But it's fine. Anything else?
Anything else? Oh, you're really making me think of this one. Whew.
Just anything that pops.
If I have to be honest, well, she's quite what's the word? Not controlling, but extremely controlling. But it's hard. Yeah, I don't mind. It is what it is.
It's good because it means you can focus on your own stuff because you've got other stuff taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. But negatives that turn into
exactly. So
it's like a river.
could you give a name to that positive then? Do you think you could sum that up?
So many. All right. From the list.
So now we've done all the bad things. We can transfer over to the good things, perhaps.
Just yeah, it's coming to me. It is coming to me.
There.
Yeah, when you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like when when yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
I tried this earlier with you and your wife, and I thought I thought very deeply because I've been friends with both of you for a very long time. So let's have a look at the things I came up with. So I came up with 4 for bad things. Of course, this is all this is just what I picked up as a general vibe. I'm not in your house, so I don't really know the depth of it. But she pays some bills, definitely. So that's a good thing,
Does that say bitch?
That's allegedly. I've heard whispers around, just a bird kind of told me on the wire, it's just hearsay. Not obviously I don't think that.
Can't really use that word.
A respectable woman, but I've heard that she can sometimes be, not quite so savoury.
Well, it's my wife. I better not.
Oh yeah. No, go on. You can tell me.
Sorry.
I'll trust. You can trust me.
Yes. Sebastian. Arrogant. Yeah.
I mean, that is a lot of floor space. 87%. That's a significant amount.
Yeah, well, as I said, I love the shed. I'm the gardens and the.
Can you go much of the garden? Are you allowed? Like, how much of the garden are you actually allowed to go into?
I'm not allowed to go near any of the flowers in case I might accidentally step on them, but that's fine.
You can be a bit
we all have our little things.
Exactly. So maybe this will be a little bit of food for thought. Maybe you can think about something to alleviate this. Maybe come up with some more good things. Just something in your own time.
There's many. It's just fuzzy brain.
Yeah.
I just ate a lot of ice cream, so it might be brain freeze in the freezing of the brain.
Sleeping much? Maybe a little bit woozy. Maybe you having some issues with sleep. It's fine. We all have it. Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to have a go with that.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't want to offend. I don't want to split anything up. I don't want to prove anything. I just want to.
Well, okay. Well, we'll
open your eyes.
No comment. No, right?
No, of course. Good to stay neutral in things that matter to your wife. Yeah. All right.
Now, it could be said after looking at all that, maybe you weren't as in love with Niamh as you made out to be. I see you sent roses and chocolates for her birthday. Quite a lovely big gesture in front of everyone, hey? Or perhaps the perfect cover of a husband planning to get rid of his wife.
I mean, look, it was a joke. It was just a joke between two friends. We were just having a laugh, all right? I mean, you can't really think I would kill someone I've been married to for years just because of a call of a list. Like, it makes no sense. At the end of the day, yes, we were going through a rough patch, but we still loved each other. So, it's ridiculous. And if I'm honest, the person I would be suspicious about is Logan, because he made the list. And I've always had my suspicions about him. There's something not right with him. So that's who you should be investigating, not me.
Right, I think I'd like to hear from Logan next, please. Logan, for the record, please can you describe to us your relationship with Niamh Andrews?
So I'm Logan, technically a Thane and Moray, but honestly I barely deserve that title. I kind of won it in a drunk golfing match. But yeah, I've known Niamh for 18 years now. We've been playing golf for a long time. That's where we first met. Then we found out we had 2 sons in the force. It's difficult, because we were pretty close. It's quite nice when you're out on the field. You can you feel more comfortable telling people things that maybe you wouldn't be before, and it just felt like we were pretty close. And yeah, it's hard to believe she's gone, But I mean, that's life. Well, I suppose not. I suppose it's death, but we kind of have to come to terms with that eventually. And we will have to move on. So, if you'll excuse me.
Touching words there, Logan. Now, aside from the video call where we hear you blatantly lambast Niamh's character, something rather interesting has been found in our police records about you. Take a look. I'm wondering if you could please explain to us why this restraining order has been taken out against you, Logan.
All right, so you've seen the video call. You've seen, presumably, Sebastian's been through that. My response would be very much the same. I mean, yeah, it was just a bit of back and forth, bit of banter between two. I was just trying to get a laugh out of him, really. It was a bit harsh on my point, to be honest, but it's in the past. He's explained. Now the restraining order, that's a different kind of situation, because I thought it was an administrative error, just a name in the wrong place or something like that. That I was no longer allowed to see my son on the field. I could never show up to a crime scene anymore and see him working, which was my favorite thing to do in the world. But I can't do that anymore. But then recently I started suspecting foul play. And I figured there were only so many people who could have meddled with the data. And the conclusion very much pointed towards Niamh. And I didn't very much want to accuse her of anything. And I didn't really know if I was going to actually confront her about it. And I was thinking about doing more and more. But then I heard she had a birthday, Anyway, I'm not gonna spoil a birthday like that. So I was gonna wait a couple months, but well, I can't do that now. But I would never do anything proactively about it. I'm a bit of a coward, to be honest with you. You know, I wouldn't try and harm her. We've been friends for years. 2 decades almost we've been friends. So I wouldn't actually, you know, do the deed. That would be not for me.
And next up, I'd like to talk to Susan Pugwash, please. I understand you had business dealings with the deceased.
Hello, Susan Pugwash. I'll keep this short and sweet, but I'm 48 years old. I have 2 kids, Biffy and Draco, and the dog Jasper, which is very delightful. We're talking about Niamh. Obviously, you can tell I'm very upset by the situation, distraught, in fact. But you know, how do I know her? Oh yes. Well, me and Nicholas have a business. I own half of the business. Sorry. Ooh. And she always used to help out and everything. And you know, she was just always one of the family. You know, but you know that was all in the past, and I don't speak to her now. Rarely. Well, I don't speak to her at all now because you know she's dead. Oh, sorry.
Right, well, from the sounds of things, you're a very busy, important lady, Susan. I'm just wondering, if that's the case, how do you explain these photographs coming up on the screen now?
Yeah, you might be a bit confused by those photos, but I can assure you I am a lady of leisure, and those photos were taken when I was off work, you know, due to being rather sick. You know, I'm still quite sick now, but I can assure you I'll be back in work and I'll be right as rain, so don't you worry. Yes. Sorry.
Right, well, that's all well and good, Mrs. Pugwash, but you seem to have changed your story there. You didn't mention the sick time before. Have you possibly got something to hide? I'd also like to bring your attention to this.
I don't know where you got that document from, but I'll certainly get Drake on the case and he'll sue you. But fine, I'll admit it. Niamh owns half of my business and it vexes me to accept it. She's always been jealous of my wealth and status in this society. She's always tried to claw her way into it. Yes, I find her greedy, manipulative, selfish, and a downright pig. But I did murder her. My time would have come to strike, but it wasn't tonight. And besides, I wouldn't have murdered her tonight because I have yoga after this and it would have tired me out. Preposterous assumption.
Well, we got there in the end, didn't we, Susan? Okay, so brilliant. Regrettably, I think we're going to have to speak to Karen next, please. Karen, I understand you're Niamh and Sebastian's neighbour. Can you introduce yourself briefly, please, and describe your relationship with Niamh Andrews?
So hi, I'm Karen. I think I'd like to open with a short quote. Obviously, my favourite quote is "Live, laugh, love," but life is short. Smile while you still have teeth. I think that's quite a nice one to round up. So I don't like to talk about myself, but I'm a 40-something-year-old middle-aged mum. If I was to describe myself in 3 words, it would be kind, generous, and loving. My zodiac signs are Cancer. I mean, I'm a typical Cancer. I'm quite empathetic. I mean, you'll probably get that vibes over videos anyway. My hobbies include drinking wine, of course, keeping up with the Kardashians in general, that sort of TV, and doing stuff for the kids. But I spend a lot of my time, obviously, washing, ironing, cooking, all that mum stuff. Got 5 lovely kids, a hubby. Oh, and Niamh. I know Niamh through, so our kids go to school. We're neighbours. Our kids are friends. Friends. They're friends when Niamh's kids aren't being rude. I'm not saying bad upbringing. I'm just saying, you know, feisty and a bit bitey sometimes. And of course now Sebastian's going to have to do it on his own. So, which is not an issue. I just think it's a bit, yeah. Anyway, well, you see, we have a great relationship. Well, had a great relationship. Been friends for quite a few years, you know, over WhatsApp and stuff. But that's me.
Wow, it sounds like you're very close to Niamh there. Very close indeed. Thing is, me and my team have been taking a little look at your Instagram page. There's quite a lot of stories there about Niamh.
Are we going? Okay, I'll stop talking anyway. So it's 4 in the evening, so I thought I'd have a glass of wine and talk to you all about my about PTA school fair yesterday. Obviously I have to say a few things about it and just clear up the air for a little bit. So yeah, thought I'd have a little Saturday chat. Yeah, no, let me get into it. I think I'll stop and I just wanted to clear the air a little bit about, when we were clearing up the PTA fairs, school fair, you might have seen, some of you might have seen a little, not argument, disagreement that was had between me and one of my very close friends, Niamh. And I just thought I'd clear the air for a little bit about it. Nothing happened wrong, but no, just thought I'd have a little chat with everyone here. I'll start again here. Now, it was all a bit of a shy. It was really there. Well, I'll talk to you about that. Doesn't make sense. I can't even begin to cost a shopping trip and Waitrose, parenting and things like that. So I mean, Watson and rude if you are, which is an interesting. But I think I ran out on that video. But I'm just going to quickly try and get this done quickly. Quick explanation. Last night was the summer school fair. I should stop drinking the wine. And Niamh, I let her. I'm not head of PTA. I like to take it upon myself to help organise things. I'm a kind, caring person like that. She said she'd, you know, make it colourful, but she didn't. She didn't really. She just kind of stuck it up. She claimed she ran out of time, but it's not as if she has anything else in her life. Okay, so I just need to quickly clear it up. The current head of PTA, she's leaving at the end of this term because her youngest, get it mixed up. Her youngest child is in year 6, so he'll be leaving, so she won't be at school anymore. It just makes sense. So I've stood in before for the PTA, so I felt it was, you know, a right role for me. They needed someone kind, caring, and also devoted to the role, which I think I filled all those boxes. And Niamh also offered to go for. I had a candidate just to make some natural competition. If we knew it would be me. I mean, we haven't had the results back, but I'm pretty certain. And I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm not angry at Niamh. I'm a little bit angry at Niamh. But it's just, you know, she was given that area of the school fair, and that's an area that I could have had, but I gave up for her to give her a chance. And she didn't retake it, and I could have done a lot better with that. I'm not angry. I don't know what I'm saying here. Probably a couple of glasses of wine, but a little bit angry at Niamh because that was her school fair and she didn't really seem to care about it. She didn't tidy it up, she didn't do anything. I mean, of course I tidied it up, but yeah, no, just to conclude, I don't really know what I'm saying here. It's probably the wine, probably a couple of glasses, a little bit too early into the evening, but I'm not angry with her, Niamh. It's, you know, whatever. She could have used that more usefully, but I'm not angry with her, not like a killer or something. But yeah, I should probably just stop talking now.
Mom.
Go away.
No, I'm really hungry.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll get you some food in a minute.
No, I'm really hungry.
I'll come back soon, maybe tomorrow, for another video.
No, please.
I just some of you have responded to my story. Very nice of you to do so. But some of you are talking. You're defending Niamh. Let me tell you a few things about her. You know, she promises a lot, but doesn't do anything. You know, it's always one way with her. I'm always doing the pickups for her because she's having trouble with Sebastian. Oh my God, get over yourself, Niamh. I'm picking up her kids all the time. Her kids bite. I mean, doesn't that say enough? And I mean, half the time I'll go round to her house and she doesn't let me in. She stands and talks to you from the door. What sort of friendship is that? I mean, we're best friends. Don't get it wrong, we're best friends. But she could be a little bit kinder at times, couldn't she?
Now, Karen, someone with such ill feeling might have reason to murder, don't you think?
Murder? No. I mean, we don't always get on. Stop being BFFs about. It's about that bond, about human connection. But we all break down. You know, you see me on Zoom, you see me in person in the streets, from a distance, of course. So you see me being strong. I smile through the rotas, school fairs. I do favours, I drop off and I pick up kids, and they're not usually my own. Day in, day out, I'm working hard. But I guess you could just see me as a bit of feminist icon for doing that. Yeah, feminist icon. Take that one. But I wouldn't murder, surely. Haven't, have I? No, I'm busy enough with the PTA, kids, hubby, neighbourhood watch. I'm a stay-at-home mum, you know, that's a full-time job. PTA. Some of you had a PTA. I mean, I probably would have won it anyway. I've got that extra flair. I mean, you can't tell Niamh that because she's a dead. But they probably saw me, got the vibe. Feminist, yeah. They needed a feminist icon to lead the PTA. But I mean, if you've ever met me, you'd know it's not my blood, it's not my character. I'm lovely, I'm Karen. I'm an icon for women everywhere, in the same way that all women are. Because I'm the new head of PTA. Bit exciting, but sad, but exciting.
Right, now, the hooded figure, does anyone actually know who this guy is? Could you come forward into the light and maybe tell us how you knew the deceased, if you knew the deceased?
Oh, sorry. I thought you could hear me or see me. Misstatement, what am I saying? I didn't know her. I thought, well, Logan's going, I haven't seen him in a while. I'm sure he's a nice chap. I mean, he's family after all. And I went and found it rather boring, but first people I've seen in 20 years. So I guess at the end of the day, socialization is every good once in a while. So why not? Why not turn up and see Logan?
That's great. Sorry, who exactly are you?
Oh, right. My name's Henry, and I'm the groundskeeper at the golf course. No one sees me be the groundskeeper. That's because I do everything in the dark. Obviously, I don't see many people, but I'm there, you know, sitting there mowing the lawn, shooting the rabbits, potting a few holes every now and again. But yeah, you might see me log cabin a couple of miles off the course. I walk, obviously. I don't know how to work a car or what a car is. So there you go.
Ah, Henry. Very glad you're with us tonight. A very important piece of this here puzzle. How lucky that you happen to be here. Although it might not be as much of a coincidence as Niamh led everyone to believe. See, we found this wee letter at Logan's property. Could you possibly read it out for us, Henry?
Dear Logan, I'm writing to you to inform you that I might have put myself into a rather serious situation. This might be because I could have shot someone because I thought they were a leopard, mainly down to the fact that they were wearing leopard print clothing, or maybe they just look oddly hairy. But anyway, while I was hunting, I shot her, and she wasn't too happy about it, and he kind of, what word should I use? Blackmailed me. So ever since then, I've been on the edge a little, and I know you can help me. I'm sure you and your fancy golf clubs can swing this blackmail in my favour, and perhaps sort out the whole problem and say maybe I'm sorry. But however, if it does come to it, I will happily say what she was doing, if I can remember what she was doing. She was doing digging, I think. It was a good distance away. All I saw was like a little bit of hairy mess, but the forest was thick, and she clearly does not like what me pointing a gun at her and shooting her. So please help, I guess, and thank you, I guess.
Now we happen to know that Niamh, from hospital records, that Niamh was treated for a gunshot wound around the time that this letter was sent. If Niamh happened to be the person in this letter and she was blackmailing you, could this be a clear motive for murder? After all, you've shot her once already.
Now, looking through things that I've sent, things that I've written, things that I've said, it's not actually a bad idea, and I would have, and I actually have done that before, but you didn't hear that from me. Now, when I would say I shot her, that was obviously true. You can check the corpse. There's a scar near her shin. I genuinely didn't mean to shoot her. I was just quite hungry, and there was some game meat in the area, so I thought, why not? But clearly, I've got a mix-up, you see. But if I'm honest with you, I am entirely sure that she was doing something that she shouldn't have been doing, you know, because no one digs in that part of the woods, because they usually trip over the bear traps that I might have set because I get bored. But still, I don't think she was doing a lot of digging for no reason. But again, I shot her, and to be honest with you, I might have shot her again. Actually, yeah, I shot her twice. Okay, that's another thing. I did shoot her twice. At the end of the day, oh well, it's my fault, and I wasted some ammo. So, what can you do?
Right. Thank you. That clears a lot up. Okay. Next we've got Barbara. Another neighbour. Yeah, that's right. Barbara, can you introduce yourself, please, for the record, and tell us a bit about how you knew Niamh? Barbara, it looks like you're muted. Muted. Yeah, that's great. Right.
Neighbours, yes, yes. Well, I'm Barbara. I live next door to her, but in our rather big houses. It's quite a far part way, but I am 73 and I am a widow. And the reason why we're neighbours is, well, we are neighbours, and she moved in quite a while ago. But after my husband died, she was so lovely to me, and she bought a kitten, and that's where I grew my love for cats. And you know, she was very kind to me after my husband passed away. But yes, she started to lose love in cats, let's just say, and there were some things like me being a naturist she didn't quite like. But obviously I am quite appalled with her passing away, especially before me. No one wants that. But you know, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with this computer, because it is hers. I mean, I don't really know what to do, and I can't drink wine with her anymore, so but yeah, I mean, I'll have to find a new neighbour.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm ever so sorry, but we have found a piece of evidence which I'm going to have to ask you to respond to. For the record, please could you read out the following letter we found, written by yourself?
Excuse me, I haven't got my glasses. One of my cats stolen, but I will do my best reading. Okay. To Niamh, I feel awfully ashamed to write such a hateful letter, but I feel that enough is enough, lovely. You complain on a daily basis about my naturism. It is in fact not illegal and has hundreds of benefits to do with it. Although I feel this is becoming alarming and causing stress on you. At your age, my lovely, I think you benefit from it. I mean, my skin is starting to look better than yours. I am appalled at the complaints I'm getting from you. I'm just being in touch with the environment and nature, and I shouldn't be disturbed. I am beginning to feel like I should do it to frankly just, and excuse my French on this, but just to piss you off. I'd thought better of you as my neighbour, Niamh, and now I don't feel safe in my own home. And I mean, for all you newbies in the world, you won't get this, but I think you're such a cad, and it's untrustworthy. So I'm just appalled, and you know, I'm just going to carry on. You are not stopping me being naked. Sincerely, your neighbour.
Sounds like there was a little bit of tension there between yourself and the deceased. Would you like to say anything in your defence, Barbara?
I'm appalled that you're accusing me about this letter. I mean, it was just the heat of the moment, and I was just writing my feelings and thoughts on paper. And, you know, I have rights to be a naturist, you know, and she has no rights to complain, no rights. And as I said in the letter, I feel rather uncomfortable now to be in my garden after all this complaining, and I'm appalled that you're accusing me, an old woman. I'm just vulnerable, and all these people a lot younger than me, they're fit and healthy to think of how to murder Niamh. And I know, I don't know now. You know, we used to love having glasses of wine together, me and Niamh, and now I don't know what I'll do. And I'm still worried about this computer. I don't know where I'm going to put it.
Oh, sorry, we're, thank you, Barbara. Okay, next I need to talk to Tyler. Tyler, I understand that you're the nephew of the deceased. Were you close with your aunt?
Yeah, I'm Tyler. Aunt Niamh was my aunt. So I would have known her that way. But I also spent a lot of time living with her growing up because my parents were away traveling, you know, from sort of when I was 7 or 8, and you know, for work, and they still travel, and you know, they're great because you know, then you know, they always bring me stuff back, and you know, I'd get home and it'd be great, and but it was always, you know, a bit tense. I just think it was because Niamh was the one who was, you know, there for me, and you know, just and taught me stuff, and my parents were, and then they'd come back, and I'd get to go home, and it would be great, and then Niamh would come over, and we'd have a family dinner, and they'd have tense conversations, and then my parents would leave again. But that's it's not the point about Niamh. I'm really indebted to Niamh because, you know, she provided me with a place to live while my parents are traveling, and she's give me home, and because of that I met my best friend, and I don't know where I'd be without her. It's just such a shock.
A very, very sincere sentiment there, Tyler. You paint the picture of a wonderful and loving woman. I'd now like to share some video footage of a voice call between Natalie and yourself, if you don't mind.
What have you been up to at the moment?
Well, you know, work for school, learning lines, Zoom meetings to like run through stuff and discussing like staging and, you know, stuff like that. What have you been doing with like your?
Kind of online stuff at the moment, just going over stuff. But I have been doing a lot of writing, which I'm actually quite happy with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like, what else am I meant to do during this time?
Yeah.
Have you been? How's Ellie? Is she okay?
Yeah. So I still managed to like go for walks like at the park, just
That's
sort of
good. Yeah.
being far away from everyone else. But it's lucky she doesn't need that much exercise because she's getting on a bit.
She's only little. Oh, that's
Little.
good. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
But you know what else I've been doing? Niamh. I've been on the phone with Niamh like nearly every day.
Is she still calling you every single day?
Well, practically, yeah. And they'd go on like ever. Like yesterday, it was like 2 hours on the phone with her.
I don't
Get her off.
think I could answer. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that woman. I can't.
No.
She frustrates me so much. Like, she's still paying me money every month to like pay for rent and food.
But doesn't she like hate that you're doing creative writing?
Yes, of course. The amount of time
So
I've sent her on, what is this? This is not good. It's ridiculous, and she's still paying. I think she's almost doing it as like a bribery to try and get me to
she's probably trying to manipulate you or something.
Yeah, provide me with like the stability I need to get a proper job. I'm like, what me and you do is what we want to do, so like just let it be.
That's why I'm glad my parents are like so supportive with everything, and just sort of, you know.
I mean, obviously dad supports what I want to do, but
but like
have enough money. After all the stuff that happened with the company debt, like he still like is trying to pay stuff off.
Well, you have a parent who's there, and I have a parent who has money.
Yes, yeah, but God, she just keeps paying me money every month, and I appreciate it, but like I just don't trust her at all.
It's just,
I mean,
it's like she's trying to like worm her way and trying to be our parent.
She like moved to another planet, like by Niamh,
or like a remote island that doesn't have phone service.
Yeah, so she can stop like calling everyone or texting everyone,
and then
like,
trying to control our lives and just sort of disappear forever and never come back.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah.
God. That would make my day if she just disappeared and was like there was no trace.
Never came back.
I'd be like, excellent.
It'd be the best thing.
The best day of my life.
Yeah, my parents would like so support you as well because you love you.
Your parents are lovely. I've only met them like 3 times or something.
Yeah. Niamh can just go away. She can go away and just disappear.
Maybe. See you never.
Well, Tyler, we're not quite so sincere there, are we? Wishing she'd disappear and never come back. Interesting. What have you got to say for yourself? Am I looking at a murderer here?
I mean, no guardian parental relationship is perfect. I mean, so many teenagers and young adults complain about their parents or the people who raised them or whatever. And I mean, how many teenagers say, "I wish you were dead" to their parents, and they don't actually mean it. It's the heat of the moment and frustration and anger and. And all I really want is just my parents back, and I feel like Niamh just Niamh and I had a rocky relationship. I'm not going to deny that, because even after I moved out, she kept calling me, and I wanted her to back off because I felt like she interfered so much with my relationship with my parents, because they'd come home and then they'd have a tense conversation with Niamh, and then they'd leave again, and but I would never want. I could, maybe I didn't like her, but I could never. I'm indebted to her. She gave me a place to live, and because she did, I met my best friend, and yeah, I wanted to back off, and I'd never actually. She took me to rehearsals and the hospital when I broke my collarbone, and took care of me when I was ill. So I could never. I complain and I complain and I complain, but I wanted her to stop smothering me, but I could never. I could never actually see myself. Just can't believe she's actually gone.
Well, be careful what you wish for here, Tyler. Now let's move on to your accomplice, Natalie. I understand that, Natalie, you yourself arranged the party for Niamh tonight. Very considerate of you, isn't it? Natalie, for the record, I'd like you to state your relationship with Niamh and just introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, I did organise the Zoom party thing. I don't really know what to call it, sorry. Yeah, so I'm Niamh's, well, I was Niamh's goddaughter. God, that's really weird to say. I have a lot of love for her, so that's why I decided to do this. I thought it would be a nice idea to organise this over lockdown because none of us can see her, so obviously, well, none of us could see her, so we thought it would be a nice idea for her to have this birthday thing. I've known her since a baby. Obviously, she was at my christening, and she's been a family friend for a very long time. She knows my dad very well. She also knew my mum before my mum passed away. I should probably mention that now, but she's always been there. She's always kept in touch. We've gotten closer over lockdown. I don't really know what else there is to say. I don't really understand.
I'm going to cut straight to it, Natalie. I'd like you to watch a little bit more of the video call between yourself and Tyler.
Like, she's started texting my dad again, and like I know, but the worst part is that I tell him, Dad, don't respond to her. You know what will happen. You know what she's like, and he still responds to her. She's still got him wrapped around her little finger. It's ridiculous. And because he's too nice, he just gives into it.
Didn't that start like 2.5 years ago? Like when she really started.
Yeah, when she started to get really close to him. That's definitely one way to put it. Oh God. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So that was 2 and a bit years ago. So that means it's been two years since Mum went missing, I think. Yeah. To be fair, that has actually been on my mind a lot lately, if I'm being honest, because there's still so many like questions that haven't been answered. Like stuff's still coming out from the police. Like I was on a phone call yesterday with the actors of the police because I like get regular phone calls with them every month.
Yeah.
To check in, and they've now said that apparently on the night that my mum was confirmed to be officially like dead, she was in the same neighbourhood when Niamh lives.
Seriously.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have said that. I will be honest.
But
I might go to prison now. It's fine. I trust you.
Who am I going to tell?
I know I trust you. Confidential information. Let's just say that. But that's just really telling, isn't it? It just says a lot. I mean, God. It was about that time, like just sort of like around the time where she was really sinking her claws into your dad, like between that and your mum's disappearance, that she had started getting these like really weird phone calls, and they were like DEFCON level private. Like if I walked into my room, into her, like the room where she was in, she would bite my head off and scream at me till I left. God.
And she started having them again now, like I think because she's complaining, and sometimes she just has to drop the call randomly, and so
I know what that might be about.
I got to move out before this whole lockdown thing happened.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're still in Bristol. I'm glad I'm in Bristol. Good God.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, we also have a sample of some university work you've done, Natalie. After everything we've just heard there, the choice of storyline. It's intriguing, Natalie. Henry, I have a feeling you have the voice for this task. I'm going to ask you to read this out. It will come onto the screen now.
Well, quite kind of you to recommend me. Let's see what I have to read here then. After her mother mysteriously disappears and is found dead for reasons unknown to the police, Maddie investigates what happens to the lead up to her mother's death, questioning in particular her disapproval, godmother's close relationship with her dad. A desire for revenge soon leads to Maddie to be the one with the blood on her own hands. She realizes she has the ability to destroy the one person who puts her in this situation. Well, I mean, all the evidence there, and a bloody good read. I might buy that.
Now, there's a hell of a lot of arrows pointing in your direction, Natalie. Was this an act of revenge? Did you arrange this party, this very party tonight, not to celebrate your godmother's 50th birthday, but in fact, to murder her?
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I know how it looks and sounds. Sorry, but you're taking this way too far, if I'm being honest. Okay, first of all, just like Tyler said, it's a general conversation. Okay, yeah, we say at the end we might want to get rid of her, but we mean it as a joke. It's a joke between two friends. Okay, first of all, also, we were ranting the whole time. What's the issue with ranting about something? I will be honest. Niamh pissed me off a lot. She was a woman who I just didn't trust her. I will say that. I didn't trust her at all. I had many suspicions about her throughout the time she was my godmother. She did a lot of things that made me feel unsafe and made me worried about the safety of my family. And you can't blame me for that if I'm worried about my family, if I'm asking the police if they really knew what happened to my mother, who was killed 2 years ago, mysteriously. Wasn't a suicide. And also, I don't understand why you brought up a story I've written for uni. Like, how did you get a hold of it? I'm really curious to know, because that's just complete invasion of my privacy. But also, it's a story. It's a creative outlet, okay? I know it's labelled as a murder mystery thriller. It's because it is inspired by those events, okay? I don't know what happened to my mum. I've never known the answer about what happened to her. But you know what? I did suspect that Niamh was behind it. Everything that Tyler said about the friends led me to assume in many ways that she might have been behind it. And the fact that she had an affair with my dad, it said it all, really, in my opinion. She was very close to my dad, and up until this point, she was still texting him every single day. I will tell you that. Niamh wasn't a good person. But you cannot sit here and tell me that I murdered her because I wrote a story that was inspired by the fact that she might have done those things. I don't know if she did. She's dead now. I can't ask her. But I wrote about it as a creative outlet. It's a story. I've done it for an extended project. I'm a creative writer, okay? It's the career I want to go into. So obviously I'm going to write a story. Sorry. I shouted. Sorry, it's just hit that she's actually dead. That's all I have to say right now.